मुकम्मल कर दें।
The descending notes from the RJD compounded the woes for the Indi amid the mounting dissonance in the MVA over the share of seats and a consensus CM candidate. Wasting little time to take a jibe at Indi, the BJP said it neither has any mission nor vision for the poll-bound states and were only in the race to advance their selfish interests and indulge in corruption.
आरजेडी के प्रोफेसर मनोज झा ने आकर दर्द जो बयां किया है और कहा है कि हम तो अकेले ही लड़ सकते हैं, ये हमारी ताकत के अनुरूप नहीं है, हमारे से पूछा भी नहीं गया, यूनिलैटरली अनाउंस हो गया। यही मैं कह रहा हूं कि इंडी अलायंस नो मिशन नो विजन, चाहे महाराष्ट्र हो, चाहे झारखंड हो, चाहे जम्मू कश्मीर हो, चाहे पंजाब हो, चाहे हरियाणा हो, चाहे केरल हो, जहां पर प्रियंका जी के सामने लेफ्ट के पार्टी का कैंडिडेट वायनाड से लड़ेगा।
With Jharkhand elections round the corner, it seems that the Indi alliance patch-up or kind of alliance which was there seems to be breaking up. In the latest report that is coming in, there seems to be now a breakup which seems to be on cards between the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and the Rashtriya Janata Dal. In fact, there is now reports that with this breakup which is imminent, the Rashtriya Janata Dal might not cooperate with Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in the upcoming elections and will contest the upcoming assembly elections on its own. Having said that, however, they want to project that all is well within the India alliance, and the senior members of the Rashtriya Janata Dal today said that even though they might contest the elections of Jharkhand on their own terms, there is a possibility that they will support the candidates of Jharkhand Mukti Morcha.
Clearly upset with the unilateral seat allotments in Jharkhand, could the RJD now be going alone in the assembly elections?
Now, a bomb threat was issued to Belagavi's Samra Airport in Karnataka through an email sent to the airport director Tyagaraj, with the threat originating from Chennai. And following the alarming message, security was tightened at the airport, with the dog squads and bomb squads rushed to the spot. And airport director Tyagaraj has registered a case at a police station. In fact, viewers, later on, the Kempegowda airport also received a false bomb threat. We'll get you all the latest in this report.
After several threats to flights on domestic and international routes have caused great concern, now Belagavi's airport was issued a threat. The Samra airport received a threat mail. Threat mail was sent to airport director Tyagaraj. The IP address of the system that sent the email was tracked. It was routed to Chennai.
Yesterday and today, Belagavi Airport, through its official email ID, has received 2 threat mails. These threat mails have been sent out in an intention to create fear and panic amongst public. So, in light of these threat messages, Belagavi City Police, along with the Industrial Security Force of the Karnataka State, along with our bomb squad and our dog squad and all our security teams, have checked the airport numerous times yesterday as well as today, and all the nook and corner of the airport has been checked, and no such threat has been found to be true.
However, no information on who wrote the mail has been found as of now. Security was heightened at the airport following the threat. Bomb squad and dog squad were rushed. Thorough checks are being conducted at the airport, but nothing suspicious has been found so far. While the email is learned to be a hoax one, a case has been registered at the Marihal police station. Investigation into the case is currently underway.
Now, clashes broke out in Jammu's Sohanjana area of Satwari between the locals and the alleged bovine smugglers. Now, 7 people have been injured in these clashes. Locals allege that the smugglers have weapons, and police say that no weapons have been recovered so far. Watch this Republic's exclusive ground report.
At Sohanjana area of Satwari in Jammu, clashes broke out between alleged bovine smugglers and the locals. Locals alleged that the bovines were being smuggled in the vehicles midnight. 2 FIRs have been registered by Jammu Kashmir police, one over bovine smuggling and the other over clashes. Police suspect that the stones were pelted from both the sides in the clashes.
हमें यहाँ पर इंफॉर्मेशन आई थी कि यहाँ पर अलेज्ड बोवाइन स्मगलिंग हुई है, जिसके चलते इमोशंस फ्लेयर अप हुए हैं कम्युनिटीज़ के बीच में। ऐसी इंफॉर्मेशन मिलते ही सबसे पहले बोवाइन स्मगलिंग की एफआईआर रजिस्टर की गई और उसके बाद स्पॉट पर जो चौकी अफसर है वो पहुंचते हैं। सिचुएशन वहाँ पर देखकर पाया गया कि भीड़ काफ़ी ज़्यादा थी दोनों तरफ से और काफ़ी उग्र थी। देवर फिल्ड विद अ लॉट ऑफ इमोशंस। तो उसके चलते फिर एक्स्ट्रा नफरी को बुलाई गई। मैं खुद स्पॉट पर पहुंचा, एसएचओ स्पॉट पर पहुंचे, जितना भी रीइंफोर्समेंट हो सकता था हुआ। लेकिन उसके बावजूद रात के अंधेरे के चलते शरारती तत्वों के कारण दोनों तरफ से एक स्कफल एंस्यू हो गया।
7 people were injured. Republic spoke to the locals. They say that the smugglers have weapons and demand a law against cow slaughtering.
जैसे कि हमारे भाई यहाँ पे रात को उपस्थित थे, देखा गया यहाँ पे गो तस्करी का मामला आया गया। लड़कों ने वहाँ पे रोकने की कोशिश की, लेकिन हुआ क्या बदले में वहाँ पे उनके ऊपर फायरिंग की गई, उनके ऊपर पथराव हुआ और गंभीर रूप से हमारे लड़के वहाँ पे घायल हुए हैं। बुजुर्ग भी थे उसमें, और जैसे कि मकवाल के हमारे एक भाई हैं वो गंभीर रूप से, अभी उनकी स्थिति बड़ी क्रिटिकल सिचुएशन वहाँ पे चल रही है। यानी इस गो तस्करी के ऊपर मैं बात करूँ, ये चीज़ पहले से नहीं, बड़ी पहले से होती आ रही है। इससे पहले बख्शीनगर में भी हुआ, कश्मीर में भी बड़े सारे केसेस ऐसे देखने को आए। अब ये चीज़ें जम्मू में भी शरेआम होने लग गई हैं।
Police are suspecting the role of outsiders in the incident. However, they say that the use of weapons has not been found so far. Raids were held to nab the agitators.
7 people have been injured in the clashes that broke out between the locals and alleged bovine smugglers in the Sohanjana area of Satwari area of Jammu late last night. The incident was reported when the police was informed of the bovine smuggling taking place. Now, the entire area has been barricaded and the point where the clashes have taken place has now been barred. The police has been deployed in the large numbers here, and also the attempts are being made to ensure that the locals are also pacified on the situation.
Investigation into the matter is underway.
Coming up on the other side, viewers, a speeding bus collides with a tempo in Rajasthan's Jodhpur, leaves 12 people dead. That includes children. We'll get you the latest. Stay tuned, don't go anywhere.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Welcome back. Now, in a major accident, a speeding bus collided with a tempo in Rajasthan's Jodhpur, leaving 12 people dead. And according to sources, there were as many as 8 children among the deceased. And it is understood that the speedy sleeper, a coach bus, was bound for Jaipur from Gwalior when it collided with the tempo at the top speed. Here's a report.
In a horrific accident, a speeding bus collided into a tempo in Rajasthan's Jodhpur, leaving 12 people dead. According to sources, the deceased include as many as 8 children. Reports said that the sleeper coach bus was headed to Jaipur from Gwalior in neighboring Madhya Pradesh when it collided with the tempo at top speed. Visuals showed that the front portion of the bus was badly dented and its windshield busted while the tempo was reduced to a wreckage. Further, according to the police officials, those travelling in the tempo were natives of the Gumat neighbourhood of the Bari city. Reports said that the tempo riders were on their way back home after attending a function at Barauli village when they met with the horrific accident on National Highway 11B near Sunipur village. Heart-wrenching visuals showed the bodies lying at the mortuary of the Bari hospital.
राजस्थान के धौलपुर में एक भीषण सड़क हादसे में 12 लोगों की मौत हो गई है। बस और टेम्पो की इस भिड़ंत में 12 लोगों की मौत होने के बाद एसपी और कलेक्टर मौके पर पहुंचे हैं और उनकी पहचान की जा रही है। इसके साथ साथ ही इस बड़े हादसे पर देश के प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी ने भी संवेदनाएं व्यक्त की हैं। उधर केंद्रीय मंत्री गजेंद्र सिंह शेखावत, स्वास्थ्य मंत्री गजेंद्र सिंह खींवसर, प्रधानमंत्री के साथ साथ मुख्यमंत्री भजन लाल शर्मा समेत डिप्टी सीएम प्रेमचंद बैरवा ने भी संवेदनाएं व्यक्त की हैं। उधर घायलों का इलाज बाड़ी अस्पताल में चल रहा है तो दूसरी तरफ मृतकों की पहचान करने में प्रशासन जुटा हुआ है।
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Modi expressed his anguish over the deaths and announced an ex gratia of rupees 2 lakh each for the next of kin of the deceased and rupees 50,000 each to the injured. Rajasthan CM Bhajan Lal Sharma also condoled the loss of lives in the accident while informing that he directed the local administration to ensure proper and time-bound treatment of the injured.
And it's another story of success for the security forces amid the continuing crackdown on terror in the valley. A joint team of the Indian Army and the Jammu and Kashmir Police foiled a major infiltration bid in the Uri sector, Baramulla. Now, official statement tells us that the joint operation was launched after the forces received an intel input about suspicious movements in the Kamalkot area of Uri. While one infiltrator was neutralized by the security forces, the operation was going on till the last. Take a look at this report.
A major infiltration bid was foiled in Jammu and Kashmir after the joint forces neutralized an intruder in the Uri sector of Baramulla. According to an official post, a joint team of the Army and Jammu and Kashmir Police launched an operation after receiving an input about suspicious movement. The forces received information that suspected intruders were spotted in the Kamalkot area of the Uri sector. The Chinar Corps of the Indian Army posted on its handle on X that the intruders opened indiscriminate fire on being challenged. The forces gunned down an intruder in retaliatory fire and the operation was still in progress till last reports. According to the intelligence agencies, there is an attempt to push terrorists across the border from multiple launch pads in Pakistan-occupied Jammu Kashmir before winter sets in.
Infiltration bid foiled by Indian Army along the line of control in Baramulla, North Kashmir. One Pakistani terrorist have been neutralized. Also, dead body along with arms and ammunition have been recovered. This operation started yesterday evening when the infiltrator fired upon these allied troops and then they retaliated. This gunfight continued for some time and one dead body now have been recovered. See, we see these kind of actions at a time when the winter is approaching and these passes will be covered with snow. In the coming weeks, it becomes difficult then to sneak in. So Pakistan Army, along with these infiltrators and the ISI, they try their best to push as many as infiltrators inside the Indian territory.
However, the armed forces remain firm in their resolve to foil all attempts by terrorists to disrupt peace and progress in the Kashmir Valley.
And viewers, we step into a very, very short break. But we will get you the latest that is happening in the national capital, the latest coming in on the investigation in the Delhi school blast. There's no end to the hoax bomb threats to airlines. Aviation sources tell us that 14 flights received threats today. Loud explosion near the CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini. Forensic probe suggests crude bomb blast. Police makes 10th arrest in Baba Siddiqui murder case. 32-year-old arrested in Belapur in Navi Mumbai. Doctors continue with their unrelenting fight for justice, but Mamata's Neta insults the doctors, calls their protest political. A rift in India ahead of Jharkhand and Maharashtra elections. Stalemate continues in the MVA over seat sharing. Meanwhile, in Jharkhand, RJD decides to go solo. Good evening, viewers. You're watching Republic TV and I'm Raksha Misha with you on Live and Breaking. And we start with the breaking news coming in on the Baba Siddiqui murder case. And this is the 10th arrest in the murder case of NCP leader Baba Siddiqui. A 32-year-old accused has been now arrested in this case from Belapur in Navi Mumbai, Maharashtra. The accused has been identified as Bhagwat Singh, who hails from Udaipur in Rajasthan. And according to sources, Bhagwat Singh was living in Mumbai's BKC, that is Bandra Kurla complex, till the day of the attack. That's the big breaking news we have right now. Remember, Baba Siddiqui was the former lawmaker from Bandra. And my colleague Satya Prakash joins us live on the broadcast. For more, Satya Prakash, हमको क्या जानकारी आप हासिल कर रहे हैं इस 10th accused को जो 10th arrest किया गया है बाबा सिद्दीकी मर्डर केस में?
देखिए रक्षिता, ये मुंबई पुलिस क्राइम ब्रांच ने 10वीं गिरफ्तारी किया है। न्यू मुंबई के बदलापुर के पास बेलापुर से अरेस्ट किया गया है। भगवत सिंह नाम है आरोपी का, 32 साल का है। और जिस दिन बाबा सिद्दीकी के ऊपर हमला हुआ था उस दिन ये मुंबई में था, बीकेसी के आसपास था, जो जानकारी मिल रही है। और जो शूटर थे उनको जो है वेपन और पैसा मुहैया कराया था। ये राजस्थान का रहने वाला है। मुंबई पुलिस ने आज इसको कोर्ट में पेश किया गया, जहां 26 अक्टूबर तक इसको पुलिस हिरासत में भेजा है। फिलहाल मुंबई पुलिस का कहना है कि 10वां आरोपी जो कि काफ़ी अहम ये इसलिए माना जा रहा है क्योंकि जिस तरह से शूटर के साथ ये लगातार कुर्ला और बीकेसी पास में है, लगातार मिल रहा था और सारे जो रेकी हो रहे थे इसकी देखरेख कर रहा था। साथ ही जो 3 आरोपी अभी जो पुलिस गिरफ्त से दूर हैं, शिव कुमार हुए, जिशान अख्तर हुए और एक जो और मुख्य आरोपी है, तीनों से लगातार ये शख्स टच में था। भगवत सिंह जो है सिंह है, लगातार इन लोग के टच में रहते हुए शूटरों को निर्देश दे रहा था। फिलहाल ये मुंबई पुलिस क्राइम ब्रांच की 10वीं गिरफ्तारी है और जो आरोपी है उसकी तलाश कर रही है। जी
बिल्कुल, हमारे साथ बने रहिए सत्य प्रकाश, बिकॉज वी गेटिंग अनदर ब्रेकिंग न्यूज फ्रॉम महाराष्ट्र नाउ, दिस इन कनेक्शन विद द असेंबली इलेक्शंस इन द स्टेट. नाउ once again we are drawn to what's happening in the India Alliance camp. There's another rift that we are learning about because there was a meeting today. Dispute over seat sharing now quite visible. Dispute between Shiv Sena's Uddhav faction and the Congress party. The meeting of the Central Election Committee of the Congress party to be held today has been cancelled. And the Delhi High Command has ordered all the leaders of Maharashtra to stay in Delhi. So that's the big update we have right now. Satya Prakash is going to get us the details on this. Satya Prakash, कहाँ पर पेज फंस रहा है? एक बार फिर से हम देख रहे हैं, कहीं ना कहीं दरार दिख रही है हमें MVA में, जो हमें जानकारी हासिल हो रही है। एक मीटिंग जो थी वो आज की बैठक है वो कैंसिल हो चुकी है। हाई कमांड ने कहा है कि जितने भी लीडर्स हैं वो दिल्ली में ही रहें। आज एक तरफ बीजेपी की लिस्ट आती है लेकिन महाविकास आघाड़ी में कुछ अच्छा नहीं दिख रहा है।
रक्षिता, महाविकास आघाड़ी में सीट को बंटवारे को लेकर बहुत बड़ा विवाद बढ़ गया है क्योंकि जिस तरह से शिवसेना, उद्धव ठाकरे गुट और कांग्रेस के नेताओं के बीच में ये मतभेद चल रहा है। मीटिंग पे मीटिंग हो रही है, लगभग 10 मीटिंग से ज़्यादा हो चुकी। जो सीनियर लीडर हैं उनके साथ मीटिंग हुई लेकिन सीट का बंटवारा नहीं हो पा रहा है। शरद पवार को बीच में आना पड़ रहा है और शरद पवार लगातार जो कांग्रेस का हाईकमान उनसे लगातार बात कर रहे हैं क्योंकि शिवसेना, उद्धव ठाकरे गुट के नेता और जो महाराष्ट्र कांग्रेस के नेता हैं जो सीनियर है उनके बीच बात नहीं बन पा रही है। जो लिस्ट आखिरी में कल लगभग 1:30 बजे जो तय हुआ था उस सीट को लेकर भी विवाद हुआ है। लगभग 10 से ज़्यादा सीटों पे इनका और शिवसेना, कांग्रेस और शिवसेना का, उद्धव ठाकरे गुट का लगातार विवाद चल रहा है। आज भी शिवसेना उद्धव ठाकरे गुट ने, उद्धव ठाकरे ने खुद मातोश्री पे अपने नेताओं की मीटिंग बुलाया था और मीटिंग में यह तय किया गया है कि कांग्रेस से जो हमारा विवाद चल रहा है जिन सीटों को लेकर, उसको लेकर कहीं न कहीं जब तक हमारी बात नहीं बन जाती तब तक हम कोई लिस्ट नहीं जारी करेंगे। वहीं कांग्रेस की आज जो मीटिंग थी दिल्ली में, महाराष्ट्र कांग्रेस के कई नेता गए हुए हैं दिल्ली में और वहां रुके हुए हैं। आज मीटिंग होने वाली थी, उस मीटिंग को भी कैंसिल कर दिया गया क्योंकि जो लिस्ट लेके गए हैं कांग्रेस के नेता, वो लिस्ट उद्धव ठाकरे सेना गुट को माने नहीं है। इसी विवाद कहीं न कहीं बढ़ता हुआ जा रहा है। आज देर रात तक जो लिस्ट आने वाली थी कांग्रेस की, उस लिस्ट को रोक दिया गया है। कल फिर से मीटिंग होने वाली कांग्रेस की तरफ से। वहीं शिवसेना उद्धव ठाकरे गुट ने भी अपने नेताओं को मीटिंग बुलाया है। अब ये इंतजार किया जा रहा है कि जो कांग्रेस और शिवसेना उद्धव ठाकरे के बीच जो सीट बंटवारे को लेकर लड़ाई चल रही है, ये कब थमता है, क्योंकि मीटिंग में मीटिंग हो रही है लेकिन इनका परिणाम कुछ नहीं निकल पा रहा। लगातार इस विवाद को सुलझाने में शरद पवार लगे हैं लेकिन अभी तक विवाद सुलझता नजर नहीं आ रहा है। रक्षिता
जी बिल्कुल. Thank you so much, Satya Prakash, for joining us with those details. We'll keep a track of those developments coming in from the MVA camp ahead of the assembly elections. So all's not well in the camp. Uddhav Thackeray, Shivsena UBT miffed with the Congress party, and we'll get you more details on that, viewers. But now we shift our focus to another story that we are tracking now. Congress, its soft approach to terror. In fact, the Indi Alliance's soft approach to terror, viewers, once again has been exposed after a veteran party leader and former union minister, he was the home minister in the UP era, Sushil Kumar Shinde, has refused to answer a direct question on whether he considered the 2001 parliament attack convict Afzal Guru to be a terrorist. Now, appearing on a podcast, now Shinde said that he simply obeyed the death sentence passed down by the Supreme Court. And the BJP now has come down heavily on the Congress party, saying it was the latest illustration of Congress putting the vote bank politics over and above the issue of national interest. More in this report.
In a shocker, senior Congress leader Sushil Kumar Shinde refused to be drawn into a question on whether he considered 2001 parliament attack convict Afzal Guru to be terrorist. Appearing on a podcast, Shinde, who was the Union Home Minister at the time of Afzal's hanging, said he simply obeyed the death sentence passed down by the Supreme Court. Tearing into the grand old party, BJP national spokesperson Shehzad Poonawala said the statement was typical of the Congress's politics of putting its vote bank interests over grave national security concerns.
देश के पूर्व गृह मंत्री सुशील कुमार शिंदे जी अफजल गुरु को आतंकवादी तक कहने के लिए कतराते हैं। ये होती है वोट बैंक की नीति राष्ट्र नीति के ऊपर। सोचे कांग्रेस पार्टी बाटला हाउस एनकाउंटर के आतंकियों के लिए रोती है, अफजल गुरु को आतंकी नहीं कह सकती है और ये आमूमन आतंकियों की पैरवी करते हैं। 26/11 की जो हत्याएं हैं वो कसाब ने नहीं की थी, वो हिंदू पुलिस वालों ने की थी। ये तक उनके एलओपी विजय वड़त्तीवार ने कहा करकरे जी की हत्या को लेकर।
In a similar podcast interview earlier, Shinde's Indi ally and Jammu and Kashmir Chief Minister Omar Abdullah claimed the hanging of Afzal Guru served no purpose.
See, my unfortunate thing was that the J&K government had nothing to do with Afzal Guru's execution. Otherwise, you would have had to do it with the permission of the state government, which I can tell you in no uncertain terms would not have been forthcoming.
Why?
It wouldn't have. We wouldn't have done it. I don't believe that any purpose was served by executing him. I don't.
Significantly, during the podcast interview, the former Maharashtra Chief Minister also admitted that his use of the phrase saffron terror was a mistake. To a question on whether he regretted using the phrase, Shinde said he said it in close party circles and did not mean for it to come out in public domain. Coming down heavily on the veteran Congress leader, Poonawala questioned if he deliberately came up with the saffron terror theory to malign the majority community.
पर एक और खुलासा चौंकाने वाला किया। उन्होंने स्वीकारा कि भगवा आतंक जो शब्दावली उन्होंने इस्तेमाल की थी वो गलत थी और उन्होंने ये भी बताया कि ये कांग्रेस के प्लेटफॉर्म पे की गई थी, ये कांग्रेस के लोगों को ब्रीफ करने के लिए की गई थी। क्या देश के गृह मंत्री कांग्रेस के लोगों को अलग से राष्ट्रीय सुरक्षा के विषयों पर ऐसे ब्रीफ कर रहे थे और थियोरी दे रहे थे? उन्होंने स्वीकारा एक गलत।
As it is apparent, reluctance to call out terrorists for vote bank reasons lies exposed yet again. Can the Congress get away, distancing itself from Shinde's shocker?
Some more news from across the country now. Kerala Congress has slammed Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan by questioning his silence on the alleged suicide of former Kannur ADM Naveen Babu following the corruption allegations levelled against him by CPIM leader PP Divya. Now, Kerala Pradesh Congress Committee Chief K. Sudhakaran and leader of opposition D. Satishan both have questioned why the Chief Minister was silent on the matter, as he did not even convey his condolences to the bereaved family. Terming Babu as an honest and a good officer, Kerala Congress Chief Sudhakaran alleges that the government was dragging its feet on investigating the issue. Union Minister Bandi Sanjay Kumar has condemned the lathi charge on protesters at the Mutyalamma temple, criticizing the government for targeting those protesting instead of addressing the actual crime. On the same day, Bandi Sanjay visited the residence of a lathi charge victim who was injured during the protest in Secunderabad. Earlier that day, Telangana police had lathi charged the protesters when a large crowd gathered to protest the alleged vandalism of the temple idol. The Mahavikas Aghadi meeting regarding the seat sharing extended for nearly 11 hours on Saturday, concluding around 1:30 a.m. And despite some differences, discussions on nearly all seats have been finalized. Senior leaders from Maharashtra Senior leaders of Maharashtra Congress, in fact, are in Delhi today. Let us just tell you the latest that the meeting for today has been cancelled. An alarming incident occurred in Tokuttu village of Ullal Taluk, Mangaluru, where two intruders were spotted placing stones on both sides of a railway track. This act raised major concerns about a potential attempt to derail the train between Mangaluru and Kerala. Late at night, locals near the overbridge were startled by the loud noises as two trains passed through the area and strong vibrations were felt in nearby houses, prompting residents to rush to the tracks, fearing a possible accident. And upon investigation, they discovered that the stones placed on the tracks had shattered as the trains passed. Incident was reported to the railway police and Ullal police station. The Bhajanlal government carried out a bulldozer action on the house of Naseeb Chaudhary, who was involved in a stabbing during the RSS kheer distribution program. Now, the JDA has issued a notice to remove illegal encroachments near the temple.
रजनी विहार मंदिर में जो सार्वजनिक जगह है उसमें नसीब चौधरी जो मंदिर के पड़ोस में मकान है उनके द्वारा कमरा लेटवार और टीन सेट बना के अतिक्रमण किया गया था, जिसकी रिपोर्ट प्राप्त हुई थी। जॉन के द्वारा अतिक्रमण रिपोर्ट दी गई थी, जिसके तहत उसको नोटिस दिया गया था। नोटिस का रिप्लाई नहीं आने पर नियमानुसार ध्वस्तीकरण की कार्रवाई की गई है।
Naib Singh Saini, Chief Minister of Haryana, held a meeting with the officials of local bodies and Panchayati Department at Sant Kabir Kutir. He reviewed the works of Panchayat Department. Instructions were also given to expedite the stalled development work, since the Chief Minister gave instructions to start the Samadhan camps in municipal bodies from the 22nd of October. All the officers to attend office from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. and solve the problems of the common people. Meeting of all municipal corporation commissioners will be held on the 24th of October in Chandigarh. Mumbai custom officials intercepted a passenger at the airport and recovered 8.909 kg of ganja, that is cannabis, from him. The contraband was concealed in boxes containing toys and food items stored in the passenger's baggage. And proceedings against the passenger will be carried out in accordance with the provisions of the Custom Act. The officials are conducting further investigations in the case. In the wee hours today, an explosion took place at the CRPF school outside the CRPF school in Delhi's Rohini, and the school's walls suffered damage, but no casualties, thankfully, were reported. Forensic teams and officers of the Delhi Police Special Cell have reached the spot. They are trying to identify the cause, and the blast took place near this school in Prashant Vihar at 7:47 a.m. And in the latest update that we are getting is that the material that caused the blast initially looked like a crude bomb, but the details will be clear after the full reports are received. Here's a report filed by my colleague Piyush Ore from Ground Zero.
At around 7:47 today on Sunday morning, there was a light intensity blast that occurred over here at the place, the visuals of which are being given to you by my video journalist Vijay Parvez Tomar. Now you can understand that to begin with, it seemed that it was just a kind of a small mishap that had taken place. However, when the investigations by first the Delhi police officials began, it got to be known that this was not a kind of a mishap, but rather a kind of an explosion which required in-depth investigation, because this light intensity blast had resulted in the shops adjacent, their window panes being broken completely, and also some of the cars which are over here, their windshields also being broken. Moreover, the sound of the explosion resonated 2 kilometers from the place where it actually occurred. So yes, it was believed and it came to be known that this was not an ordinary blast. Subsequently, along with the Delhi police, several central agencies also came and began investigating about this explosion and began investigating about this blast. And what got to be known by them was indeed shocking and something of a concern for the Delhi residents. They found out to begin with that there was some white powder that was lying around the area, and that made some of the officials probing this entire incident believe that this may be a kind of a crude bomb that may have been used for causing an explosion. And while I speak, I would just request my video journalist to just continue to show the visuals, because following this light intensity blast that may have been caused by a crude bomb, several other investigating agencies that included not only the National Security Guard but also the National Investigating Agency along with the Delhi Police Special Cell came and began investigating the matter. Along with the white powder, there was also some traces of wires and other chemicals that was also found by the probing agencies, and thereby following all these evidences that were gathered, the probing agencies and the Delhi police subsequently decided that there should be in-depth investigation into it. Following this, there has been now an FIR that has been registered under Explosive Act.
All right, now unidentified men vandalized statues in a temple in Bihar's Bhagalpur. They broke the hands of at least 6 statues and fled the scene. And in response, the angry locals created massive ruckus at the spot, and the police also have now issued a press release following the protest, saying that the accused have now been arrested. Here's a report.
Bhagalpur police arrested a man for allegedly dismantling the hands of idols of deities. 6 statues were damaged in total. Protesters expressed their anger by storming the police premises, creating chaos in the area. Cops arrested the accused as demonstrators blocked the main road. They even set tires on fire as part of the unrest. Protesters claim that Hindu idols are being specifically targeted and are calling for justice to be served. However, Bhagalpur cops issued a press release stating a meeting is being held with the members of Peace Committee to bring the situation under control. Cops further stated that the law and order of the area has been restored.
Right, we will be slipping into a very short break, viewers, but once again there is a bomb threat, this time to the Belagavi airport. We'll get you all the latest on that. Stay tuned. In fact, that's not all. We'll also get you the train derailment bid that has been foiled, this time in Karnataka's Mangaluru. Stones found on the railway track. Stay tuned.
Delhi CRPF school explosion. NIA drafted into the probe. Airline hoax bomb threat scared. All this and much more on This Is Exclusive at 7 p.m.
Amity has been ranked amongst the top 3% universities globally, a testimony to Amity's globally benchmarked quality.
Now, viewers, ahead of the assembly elections in Maharashtra and Jharkhand, rift in the India alliance is once again visible. Now, this time in Jharkhand, RJD, that is the India alliance member, has raised questions on the seat sharing. In fact, this is about the allocation of seats for the assembly elections. Cracks are quite very well opening up. Senior RJD MLA Manoj Jha has now come out heavily over the seat allotments in this state. In fact, the Grand Alliance earlier locked the seat sharing deal for Jharkhand, as part of which the JMM and the Congress would contest 70 seats. That sets aside the remaining segments for the RJD and the other partners. But not mincing any much words, Jha said that the seats were allocated without prior consultations with his party. Here's a report.
Amid mounting alliance trouble in the Mahavikas Aghadi over the allocation of seats for the upcoming Maharashtra assembly polls, a similar crisis has now gripped the ruling Indi partners in Jharkhand. Coming out openly against his partners in the ruling Grand Alliance in Jharkhand, senior RJD MP Manoj Jha voiced his dissent over the allotment of seats in the poll-bound state. Speaking to reporters in Jharkhand on Sunday, the RJD leader claimed no prior consultations were held with the party before the seat deal was locked and announced.
हम किसी खास वजह से आपके समक्ष आए हैं। आप देख सकते हैं हमारी पूरी लीडरशिप, हमारे नेता प्रतिपक्ष तेजस्वी जी के आग्रह पे हम सब यहाँ हैं। आज सुबह हमारी मीटिंग हुई और उस मीटिंग में ये तय पाया गया कि ताकत जो वोट की है, जनाधार की है, वो राजद के पक्ष में है। हमें दुख के साथ कहना पड़ता है कि यूनिलैटरल फैसला लिया गया कि आपको फलाने नंबर ऑफ सीट का ऑफर दिया जा रहा है। ये ना राजद की ऐतिहासिक ताकत के अनुरूप है, ना समकालीन जो परिस्थितियां हैं उसके अनुरूप है।
The Grand Alliance earlier announced seat-sharing deal for Jharkhand, as part of which the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and the Congress would contest 70 seats, setting aside the remaining 11 for the RJD and other alliance partners. Jha claimed that his party had identified 15 to 17 seats where it could potentially defeat the BJP in a direct contest.
आज हमने पूरी जो मीटिंग की है उसमें हम लोगों ने 15 से 18 ऐसी सीटें चिन्हित की हैं अलग अलग जिलों की, जहां हम शायद अकेले भी बीजेपी को परास्त करने में सक्षम हैं। उसके अनुरूप उम्मीद की जानी चाहिए थी कि आप कोई भी चीजें प्रक्रियाधीन करने से पूर्व कंसल्टेशन के प्रोसेस को मुकम्मल कर दें।
The descending notes from the RJD compounded the woes for the Indi amid the mounting dissonance in the MVA over the share of seats and a consensus CM candidate. Wasting little time to take a jibe at Indi, the BJP said it neither has any mission nor vision for the poll-bound states and were only in the race to advance their selfish interests and indulge in corruption.
आरजेडी के प्रोफेसर मनोज झा ने आकर दर्द जो बयां किया है और कहा है कि हम तो अकेले ही लड़ सकते हैं, ये हमारी ताकत के अनुरूप नहीं है, हमारे से पूछा भी नहीं गया, यूनिलैटरली अनाउंस हो गया। यही मैं कह रहा हूं कि इंडी अलायंस नो मिशन नो विजन, चाहे महाराष्ट्र हो, चाहे झारखंड हो, चाहे जम्मू कश्मीर हो, चाहे पंजाब हो, चाहे हरियाणा हो, चाहे केरल हो, जहां पर प्रियंका जी के सामने लेफ्ट के पार्टी का कैंडिडेट वायनाड से लड़ेगा।
With Jharkhand elections round the corner, it seems that the Indi alliance patch-up or kind of alliance which was there seems to be breaking up. In the latest report that is coming in, there seems to be now a breakup which seems to be on cards between the Jharkhand Mukti Morcha and the Rashtriya Janata Dal. In fact, there is now reports that with this breakup which is imminent, the Rashtriya Janata Dal might not cooperate with Jharkhand Mukti Morcha in the upcoming elections and will contest the upcoming assembly elections on its own. Having said that, however, they want to project that all is well within the Indi alliance and the
Delhi CRPF school explosion. NIA drafted into the probe. Airline hoax bomb threat scared. All this and much more on This Is Exclusive at 7 p.m.
Director, The Taste of Success.
This week on Get Me Right, a packed edition of 3 deep dive perspectives. The great development story that the Omar Abdullah government can script in the new Jammu and Kashmir. And then a big story that the headlines missed. When all attention was on the SCO summit, a Pashtun jirga near Islamabad literally read the riot act to the Pakistani state. We will understand what's getting hot at the Durand line. And finally, a video profile of Justin Trudeau, so that you know for yourself why he's doing what he's doing. Only on Get Me Right this weekend. Good evening and welcome, friends, to the Sunday edition of This Is Exclusive. From airline bomb threats, almost all of them hoax, to an actual serious